here, I gotta ask you, since you did work with him in depth, and it was before he was a superstar, what was CM Punk like behind the scenes?
Bro, it is what it is. You see, what you see is what you get, man. He's straight up.
Good guy?
He's a good dude. Like I said, how you see me now, it's kind of how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of hard to not get along with. You know, I mean, I take a little bit of pride in that. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about anybody. Like I said, I don't care if you took my girl and did my this and whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're all just trying to get by here, bro. You know what I mean? No hard feelings.
What do you think about the path that Punk has taken over his career? Were you surprised that he made it so big?
I was.
You were?
I was.
Interesting.
I was, bro.
Why?
Did he seem so combative behind the scenes with Vince? Did you see any of it coming?
Could have been that he was 150 pounds.
Would you
Maybe
stop?
That's what,
I just didn't.
Picking on him.
He was at OVW and I was at Deep South.
Okay.
And we had this little rivalry thing going. You know what I mean? And he was kind of the dog there, and I was kind of the dog down there. Like, it didn't turn out that way, but
right
in my head, at least, that's what it was. And we'd watch their shows and we'd watch their stuff, and I'd kind of watch some of his other old ROH stuff, and I was just kind of like, man, fuck, I don't get it.
You don't get it.
What the hell, man? How's he so
You're with him.
Like, how's he so over? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I love him, but that's me.
I just didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'd never worked with him before. I hadn't really met him. You know what I mean? Until we went backstage. And, of course, our first match was I think it was in Tucson. The only reason, I usually don't remember these kind of things. But we'd never worked before. I was coming off of something, I think with like Balls Mahoney or something like that. So I missed my flight, or missed a connection, so I'd been drinking all day. I didn't think I was making it to the show. So I'm drinking in the airplane, drinking at the airport, drinking here. They give me a car. I'm drinking in the car. And all of a sudden I show up and I'll pull up and they're like, hey, man, you're up. I was like, oh, shit, baby. All wine drunk, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Pulling my tights on. I was like, who do I got? And they're like, you got Punk. And I was like, where is he? And he's like, his music's already going. And I was like, all right, where's the ref? I was like, tell him I'm going to work the leg. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm freaking half in the bag. You know what I mean? And I get out there and we pull each other through a passable, first encounter match. There was just a couple little hiccups, but we kept it real quick. And then I'll tell you what, bro, after I worked him a few times, I was like, oh, this is what it is.
Gotcha.
Okay, I can feel that. Like, the people feel him, you know what I mean? Like, just because.
Punk have any issues with you being slightly lit the first match? Because you know how he's straight edge.
No, brother, he don't push it on you.
Okay.
I had some of the funnest times I ever had with Punk.
Straight.
He'll sit there. He'd buy me drinks all night, laugh, and have the freaking greatest time ever. He'd never touch it. He'd drink his water and laugh and have a good time, man.
Strange question, and forgive me if it comes out wrong, but I'm curious. You work so hard to make it in this business. You sacrificed so much. I feel that sometimes some bookers kind of screwed with you. You didn't get to where you wanted to get. Is there any resentment when you see someone like Punk get to such a level of fame and then walk away from it, giving the business that you love so much the middle finger? Mm-hmm. Any of that irk you? Like, come on, man. Dude, get back here and make the money that some of us wish we could be making. What is it with you?
Here's the thing, man. Whenever I was there, it was kind of a weird little pay scale. Like, they knew the people who wanted it, you know what I mean? And they paid them the least. Because they knew they ain't going nowhere.
What you know what I mean?
Pretty smart. Pretty smart.
Yeah, because they knew, like, shit, I've been working since '98 trying to get here. I ain't quitting.
Yeah, he knows you're working for $25. You're happy to be on the show.
You know what I mean? I'm going to do.
So they sense the desperation of some of these people and just.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting.
They sit them there and they put them at the lower of the card. And they kind of they job them out a little bit. And they feed them a bone every once in a while. And then if you get over, you get your title. Which is all bullshit. It's just whoever backstage likes, whoever they think is going to make their company money, is who they're going to push out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to sell, board games, are you going to sell more Monopoly, or are you going to sell more, I don't know, Gulliver's Pursuit or whatever the hell that is. You know what I mean? Some shitty little game. You're going to do something that people know, the people are getting behind. There's a little buzz. You know what I mean? So he started making money quick. But he was never a dick about it. You know what I mean? Like, some people, like, oh, richest guy in the company, like showing up in the Mercedes, like in the big cars and all that shit. Like, he never was like that.
Okay.
He was making his money. He bought a nice house. He was main eventing stuff. And we'd talk and I just see it. Because goddamn, brother, they rode him hard. They rode him hard, and he is 165, 75, whatever pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't have that huge build. And he can bump and he can feed and he can, he can take big stuff, and he kind of has to
sell
be
the
in
big
that
game.
character and
sell the
being,
big game,
like to sell to the
Sure.
people out there that he's worthy of a belt or worthy
Sure.
of being the championship of the top guy. So he had to take a lot of abuse, and you don't get no time off, bro. And you get hurt, and you get bandaged up a little bit, and it's like they give you the option if you want to, like, okay, well, you're hurt. You want us to take you off the show? Do you want us to get you out of here? Do we need to do something else? So they do say that, but they ain't really saying that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
well, we can take you off the show.
And you may never be back.
You know what I mean? And like, you know how it is.
And you
You're
may
out of
never be
sight,
back.
especially guys like us. You're out of sight. You're out of mind, bro.
Right.
And then it's like you worked for 10 years to get here, and now all of a sudden, in a span of 2 weeks, everybody's forgotten you.
And
And you got to start over again. You know what I mean? So he was sitting there, and they're just riding him and riding him and riding him. He's getting these little injuries, and he got that stomach bug, and he shit his pants that time, and it was like, and it was funny, and we all kind of laughed about it, but it wasn't really that funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was sick as a dog, and they were still like, and he was still out there working. And you know what? Enough was enough. Thank God. You know what I mean? Like, who knows, man? What would happen if he'd have stayed in for 2 more years, grinding and hating it? And who the fuck knows what would have happened?
it's true.
Is he the next one that freaking you find on pills all OD'd out, or you know what I mean? Who the hell knows? I mean,
Right.
I don't think so because it's CM Punk, but
Right.
you never know. Maybe he freaking loses it, and he's one of those stories like the Perry Saturns where they just disappear and you never you see him years later and you're like, oh my shit, what
Yeah.
happened to you? You know
Yeah.
what I
Wow.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want
and
that.
I can't be mad at him, bro, because I was in the same boat, but I just wasn't making no money.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I left for 2 or 3 years and I never did a damn thing. I never did nothing like he did.
Right.
He went out and he made more money.
Right.
And he took a chance and he tried to
tried
to
the
go
fighting.
legit for a minute. You know what I
Right.
mean? How are you going to turn down if they're going to offer you, $1.5 million for 3 fights and you ain't never fought before?
No,
like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, but you know
doing?
what?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna fight.
I know that's money, and I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn down $1 million either. But at some point, don't you think that kind of tarnishes his legacy a little bit? Not really.
Legacy, bro. It's wrestling, baby.
Well, there's still legacies in wrestling, right?
Yeah,
I
sure,
mean,
there
you
are.
know.
I'm sure there are.
Here's the deal, man. If he gets the itch and he decides to come back, it'll take him 3 months to get in shape to come back and get in the ring?
Right.
Yeah.
If he comes back and he goes into AEW, or if he shows up and he buries the hatchet with WWE, which I don't see happening. He's really, he was miserable when he was making $3.5 million there.
Right.
And I'm just like, God damn, brother, what the hell you got
What's
to be
it-
miserable about?
What's
Like,
it take? Right.
I'm making $1,700. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty happy. What the hell's wrong with
That's
you?
right. Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, but yeah, I don't feel bad. I don't think he owes anybody nothing, man. But
Fair enough.
if he decides that he wants to come back, people will forget about all those losses at UFC
I agree.
within just as fast. You know what I mean? 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If he goes in there and he starts whooping ass a little bit and
I've already
gets back
forgotten.
over, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They'll forget all about that.
I've already forgotten about it. I'm
Yeah.
a huge Punk fan. I can't
Oh.
wait for him to come back. I want him to come back.
Brother,
so.
at least he had the fucking balls
Absolutely.
to get out there and
that's,
fight.
That's
You
how
look
I
at-
see it.
okay,